let's go through the initial verse. Amidst the universe nebulous colors from the past until today, all things have been undergoing formation, existence, decay, and disappearance. So you look at despite whatever nebulous colors, vastness, as well as the colors since the beginnings of time. They have been undergoing formation, existence, decay, and disappearance. Build a hall, one must gather earth and wood. So in this context, the hall refers to the body, one must gather earth and wood. So then you relate this line along with the second line here, relates to the cyclic existence. So the formation of the body, then you got the sensory organs and your consciousness. So when a body is formed, what happens is that obviously you take the elements, and this is a metaphor. I think it's a Chinese saying about earth and wood. When you construct something, you need earth and wood. So the hall, these beams and girders create a space, and then therefore, as a result of which we occupy a space. So now, as we go through our aging, amidst the subtle changes of time, which is we consume time in this life, we consume the space, and then we have relationship. It is again relating back to the 12 cyclic existence. That relation arises when you're in contact with people, matters and objects. So that relationship has result of which, and all these are tangible as well as visible phenomena are impermanent. So that's this particular verse. So then we understand the impermanence, then we need to then apply that into our life. So that we'll cover that. And so I'll go. So this is the fact that we understand all these things, and at the end of the day, in all these phenomena or things will be impermanent. So if the phenomena, if the things are impermanent, then we relate back to the emptiness of phenomena of things. So if we didn't understand that, then our consciousness in our practice will come out from a different dimension in our practice. It is said that in time and space and between people, things constantly undergo infinitesimal changes, undergo the aggregate of action. So undergoing good aggregate of action again relates to our consciousness, again referring back to the 12 cyclic existence that will give rise to, depending on our karmic blueprint and our habitual tendencies. Unless we deal with that and purify that, and that will create new karmic causes, and then relate back to again rebirth in a future lifetime. So given that we are here in this time space at the relationship we are going, therefore we need to understand those changes in us so that we change it into the right direction, and rather than flow with the wind of samsara. So in the worldly ways, because of our desires, our greedy and desirous thoughts, we fight for and take things. So we construct buildings, infrastructure, we consume the resources on earth. And obviously, and because of the development that we have and insatiable greed that man has, we will obviously think that because of the progress of mankind has built up over the civilization, we think that we can conquer nature. But in actual fact is, we do not understand the power of nature, and we have seen now what we have done to the environment. So we find various ways. Sometimes our various ways is the worldly ways, and this worldly ways sometimes are very devious. And there's a reason why we need to undertake precepts and wholesome deeds so that you keep us in check. So otherwise, it will go unchecked, and we just have to see what's already happening in the world right now in the Dharma generating age. So therefore, if we then continue to do so, we create bad karma. So therefore, we need to understand the principle very clearly. And not only that, there are things that things are also intangible that we cannot see. There's no form to it, and yet we fantasize about this and come, and as a result, which our imagination run wild, and that created a lot of affliction and ignorance. So, in summary, the lessons learned here: living in this world, we want to be useful. So I often use this word, and do not be a flower pot. And I'm also referring to the flower vase. This is a common thing that I always sometimes when I was in KPMG, I used to tell my staff, I mean, in the meetings, don't be a flower pot. So we need to be useful, right? So we need to be useful in our life. So if we understand the usefulness of the life and the path that we are in right now is to serve among the masses, and that's what then we understand what is the purpose of our life. But purpose of our life is to live for others, and that's a paradox about this spiritual path. So the all visible, tangible phenomena are impermanent and are all deteriorating, and this is the point that I talked about in this learning for today is about impermanence. And we must not just be mindful about tiny matters in our daily living. We must strive to understand the truth of all things, which is the right understanding. So just remember this today, 4 point, do not be a flower pot, be useful about impermanence and the right understanding. On contemplation, this one a little bit long. The aggregates are in the absence of self, and so are the phenomena. That is provided we understand what the truth is. But if not, then we have the self. You have the self, which is your consciousness, and that consciousness it's actually your 6 consciousnesses. Mess up with the aggregates. That's when you cannot see where you're going. So, but the aggregates, if they are in absence of self, and therefore so are the phenomena, then without the self, there's no permanence in the phenomena of aggregates. Form appears as a mass of foam. Feeling is like a bubble in the water. Perception is a mere mirage. Mental formation is an imaginary scene. Consciousness is like a magical illusion. So then you realize, what I've done is form, feeling, perception, mental formation, and consciousness, which are the 5 skandhas. All these are devoid of material form, or the 4 elements are in absence, emptiness. So even in the form, it's only a mass of form. So on relationship, a harmonious relationship requires patience. Garner the strength of patience to move with the infinitesimal changes of impermanence. Then you need the patience in your strength to go through those changes in your spiritual growth. All right, Garner brothers and sisters, that's all I have. Sorry, I'm very short. I can't elaborate very much today.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Brother Chin, for your really wonderful and awesome summary and insight Master's teachings. Okay, Brother Chin and yes, need to leave us together with Sister Siu Ping, and hi, Sister Siu Ping, morning, and Sister Kaping. So everyone, please on your video. We will grab a quick group photo of all of us. For the Sierra Master team to leave us, except for Chui Mun. They will always keep Chui Mun with us.
Chui Mun used to be with us until she graduated.
Graduated. Yeah. Somebody need to be.
We are going to pull her back soon. She's got no voice.
Somebody need to be here to keep an eye on us. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Gan En so much. Yeah, Brother Chin. Yeah, Siu Ping, Mr. Kaping. Yeah, Gan En so much. Okay, let us continue with our sharing. We have Brother Chris share a few words. Brother Chris, morning. Chris Chu.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Yeah, I went to about to miss sharing earlier. What I got from today's Master's teaching is that Master talk about the universe, and also talk about the analogy between our body and the buildings. Talk a lot about buildings. I'm in construction, but then sometimes knowing too much is not really that useful.
Yeah.
But the analogy is really very, 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 it's very good. It's very so simple to understand. And for us construction people, we don't see houses and buildings as like our living bodies. We see it as physical things, but we don't relate it to our body in many ways. So what we are talking about is just a shell. Right? The main thing is our mind. What happens, the formless part is the one that's controlling all the physical. So when you talk about the body, is only a vehicle for the mind to exist and do what it is supposed to do. But the body is just a structure. So, but then we need to maintain this structure. Otherwise, your mind cannot function properly, right? Without that the structure and the housing, right? To keep it in place and to be able to be a vehicle for what your minds and thoughts want you to do, because the mind cannot take the physical actions, right? So it led me to think that our body, we have to maintain it constantly. So is our spiritual mind. To maintain the body is, to me, is much easier, right? Because it's a physical thing and it follows the principles that we very well understand. You don't look after it, right? Like the house, you don't keep painting it, you don't keep repairing it. Same thing with your car, it will fail you in one of these days, right? But then our mind also needs constant cleaning and maintenance. But we don't really think much about it. But the physical things we can see is visible to us. We spend a lot of effort and time, we decorate it, we look after it properly, but then our mind, are we spending the same amount of time and effort, right, to maintain it? That is my sharing for this point.
Yeah, can so much. Yeah, Brother Chris. Sometimes just take things a bit for granted. Yeah, Master is reminding us to look at it from a different angle. Thank you so much.